up, guys? Nakamoto Crypto here. So the SEC has charged this week 11 people that was promoting an alleged $300 million crypto Ponzi scheme that has been running for the past 2.5 years. And some of them were YouTubers. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. Let's get right on to it. So on Monday, the SEC said it charged 11 people for their role in creating and promoting a fraudulent cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme that raised over $300 million from retail investors. And this includes, in the United States. So the scheme was called Forsage. This is the website right here. Forsage, if you guys remember Forsage, they had it everywhere. It's basically a smart contract. It was running on Tron, on Binance, on Ethereum, and they sell you these packages. And alongside those packages, you choose your downline and then you just keep referring. It's like a referral game only. And it's still running. And finally, the SEC has cracked down on them. The dangerous things about these things is that it reminds me of, USI Tech, for example. For those of you who were here back in 2017 or my 2018 OGs, you know what USI Tech is. It was based in Australia and they sell you these packages. And, if you get wrecked, you get wrecked. It's a recruiting game. So they raised over $300 million in the scheme before the SEC caught up on them. Now, Forsage is actually DeFi. They claimed to be, decentralized smart contract platform, and it allowed retail investors to enter the transactions via smart contracts operated on Ethereum, Tron, and Binance. So amongst these 11 people charged for creating Forsage but also promoting it, 4 of them are the actual founders, and the SEC is looking for these guys right now. Their whereabouts are unknown, but they were last known to be living somewhere in Russia, somewhere in the Republic of Georgia, in Eastern Europe, and also, in Indonesia. The SEC also charged US-based promoters of this Forsage scheme who endorsed Forsage on their social media platforms. They were not named in the commission's release, but people can guess which YouTubers were out there pushing Forsage and having a major downline of teams, hundreds of people. Some even had over 1,000 people on their Forsage team. So if you are in the referral game, just be cautious. I told you guys last year on this channel that the SEC is cracking down on not only cryptos but also DeFi. 2022 is the year of regulations. So if you are into the referral game, part of the reason why I do not accept referrals on this channel is because of this. I've seen it happen before multiple times, and it always ends the same way. It starts out pretty, but then a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, the SEC kicks in or some regulator kicks in and they shut it down. Forsage, back in 2020, it started in January of 2020, right? So by September of 2020, on the same year, the SEC in the Philippines noticed that, hey, this crypto Ponzi is growing too big. So they literally said, okay, we don't have jurisdictions over the United States, but we do have jurisdictions in the Philippines. So I think that's how they're going to be shutting down these cryptos in the future. So the SEC in the Philippines said, okay, since we can't control what's out there, we can control the people in our country that are using Forsage. So they literally said, anybody using Forsage over here in the Philippines, cease and desist, and they shut them down. So I think that's what the SEC in the US is trying to do as well. So we don't know how long Forsage is going to keep on going until they catch up to these founders. If they do, they probably hand them over to the FBI, or it's going to be like that OneCoin video. Go back and watch my OneCoin video, you would see what I mean. So be cautious. If you are a YouTuber promoting these DeFi projects and getting a ton load of referrals and downlines, my advice to you is just to at least read this article and just take action and just be more cautious with these things, because who knows, if the big boys come and kick down the door and says FBI and such, you do not want to be in the list of, this is just 11 people. What if it's a list of 100 people, for example, and your name is on that list? You put your family at risk, in jeopardy. I know we're doing our internet DeFi degen stuff. It's fun, it's cool and all of that, but we also got to be careful, because I do not wish, the SEC or the Federal Reserve or prison to anybody, on YouTube, especially DeFi. So be cautious, guys. Forsage have about 3,400 Twitter followers. They're pretty small, but people were catching on to them. Look at this. People are already linking up. The SEC is looking for the Forsage founders. They were all anonymous anyway, but they always put some forefront face YouTuber to promote them. And this is the risk that they make these people take, and then when it comes to the heat, they can't handle the heat. They will leave it up to the promoters to take the heat. This always happens, unfortunately. This was 11 people. Amongst them are YouTubers. They actually sit down and conspired to create Forsage way back in 2020, and they ran it for about 2 years. They amassed over $300 million before this could happen. So with that being said, cautionary tale, just be careful. If it takes you promoting a project, even if it's a smart contract, no matter how much you think it is decentralized, if it takes the SEC to storm in and then your name's gonna get involved in some FBI police type stuff, your family gonna find out you've been doing some spooky stuff on the internet, it's not worth it. So this was just a short one. Like up the video, share it, subscribe for some crypto content. I have been Mr. Nakamoto Crypto, and I'm out.